This is from Kira. It's asking, what should I be looking to achieve in the next 1 year? I've left my band now and have gone solo. My 5-year plan is to sustain my living standards through my music.
Great. This is actually a very interesting question because this is something I've had, weirdly enough, I had a Skype meeting with a guy this week, and we had a very similar kind of conversation. And when you said about this question, I was really interested because of that. And this idea of 1 year and 5 year, I find very, very interesting. This idea that I have to set myself up for 1 year and 5 year. And if I ask Kira, what is, for want of a more American word, but what is the legacy that you want to leave behind? What are we actually doing so that when you finish doing this, what are you going to look back on and be the most proud of? I think if you look at that as a question, you are going to change your 1 year and your 5 year goals, because people, when they look at 1 year and 5 year goals, are constantly looking forwards. They're constantly saying, right, okay, well, I want to, even though it feels like they're looking backwards, I'll get to my 1 year plan and work backwards. But we're still looking forwards. What am I going to do over the next year so that then after 5 years, so then after 10 years, after 50 years? If you look at legacy, if you look at what is going to be the thing that you leave behind, and if that is, I just want people to love my music, then that's a very different legacy than over the next year. What I would like to do is I would like put music out, even though they're very, very similar. So I would like people to almost stop with this idea of 1 year and 5 year. You know, I know it's important to have your 5 year plan because your mum says, because that's what the way it works is your mum says you've got to have a 5 year plan because anyone who hasn't got a 5 year plan is a fucking loser. Not really, because if you've got a legacy, then that trumps every year plan to me. And I would prefer people to look at that when they're planning their career and to look at the end goal. So for me, if I said, I want everybody to know that when it comes to music education, I'm the best in the world. Like, nobody is better than me. And the weird thing is I fucking believe that. Like, there isn't anyone better than me. There's just nobody better in the entire world when it comes to helping musicians. There's just nobody better than me. I'm fucking amazing at it. I am the best at it. But my end goal is for everyone else to realise that on top of myself. And so with that in mind, that's what I'm working towards. That's the legacy. And then when I break it down to 1 year and 5 year, that's fine. I've got goals and targets and stuff. That's fine. But for me, the end goal is everybody in the whole world who's anything to do with music needs to go, to be fair, this dude knows what he's talking about. That's the end goal. And so therefore, every day I'm saying I'm taking one step closer to that, one step closer to that. And not because when I also add in a 1 year goal, I'm adding pressure straight away. I'm adding pressures, and this week, last week when this goes out, we've had the mental health thing, which I want to keep going on. I really want to talk more about that with the Chester Bennington and Chris Cornell thing, which was so incredibly sad, and just the amount of people who reached out to me saying, I'm struggling, or I just don't know if I've got what it takes, or I'm depressed, or whatever it is. And it was like very moving, just reading all this stuff. I found it very, very difficult. But then what we do is we go and add extra pressure and just say, my 1 year plan, what I have to achieve in the next year, otherwise I'm a fucking failure. And it's like, we're making it harder for ourselves as musicians, and I don't think that's the way. Whereas we won't look back when we're 80 at that 1 year. What we will do is we'll look back at a body of work and we will appreciate what we've done. And if we say, I want to be really proud of the music I make, or I want to be able to put records out I want to put records out that people love, all of these things are taking pressures away from you instead of adding time pressures onto you, which are only going to make it harder and harder and harder, because we always set really high targets for ourselves, because that's the way we are as humans. That's the way as creatives and as musicians, we're like, oh man, if I could just get to this bit here. And all of a sudden, 6 months in, you're like, fuck, this is actually harder than I thought. Yeah. And all of a sudden we're not getting to where we want to get to. And then we start panicking and we start throwing everything at it, or giving up, or just getting depressed. It's too much pressure, I think. So I would like to look at everyone thinking about the legacy instead of the 1 year plan or the 5 year plan? What would you like to be recognized for? What would you like to look back and be proud of? Not just other people, because I don't just want this to be about what do other people think of you. Fuck that. I don't give a shit about that. What do you want to look back on your life and say, I'm really proud of the things that I did? And if you could look forward now and say, what is it that I want to be able to say about that? What is the thing when I look back at older farty Damo, and say, what does older farty Damo say? I want him to say, I'm really proud that these videos that we did every single day helped musicians. Did money come into the equation? Not once. There was not one part of me that just kind of went, oh, I'm really proud that I made some money out of my videos. I don't care about that. So that's what I would like. That's what I'd like Kira to think about. I'd like her to think about not the 1 year. I know this is not quite answering the question, but I think if you go back to the drawing board and say, stop, take the 1, take the 5 out and just say, what do you want to be proud of when you finish your life? And therefore, now work forward to it. And I think in that case, now that you've left the band and you've gone solo, what's the most important thing? Is the most important thing making music that you're proud of? Is it that you are consistent with giving value to your audience? Is it that you got to play some gigs that you were really proud of? What is it that we're looking for on Legacy? That's what I'd like to do. So I'd like to take out the 1 year and the 5 year. I'd like everyone to do that. And then we'll put the 1 years and 5 years in on a slightly different way without the pressure. I'd like to have people having less pressure on their 1 year plans, which I think is probably a subject for another day.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's kind of going back to what you were saying the other week about having kind of like 60 years with which to just to keep learning, and it definitely does take a lot of pressure out of the equation.
Yeah, because the other day I did a talk, and right at the end, the guy said, "What?" There was 4 of us on the panel, and he said, "What would your final thoughts be?" And everybody did this kind of like, start today, you can fucking do it. And I was like, okay, whoa. You got fucking time here. Even if you're 40, you've still got 20 to 30 years. Let's not fucking panic. Let's not try and actually put so much pressure on ourselves that we're going to fail within the next 6 months. And I think that's the bit, I want to do a video on this later, but someone said to me today, and it was very kind of them, they said, I love watching your videos, they're really motivational. And I was like, for some really weird reason, I got angry. I was like, I'm not fucking motivational. I'm an instruction manual. I'm telling you what to do. Like, if you go and buy something from IKEA, the last thing you need is me standing next to you going, you can do it! You can build the wardrobe! That's not going to help in any way whatsoever. I fucking hate that shit. It's fucking bullshit. What you need is someone going, hang on a minute, that bit goes in that bit there. That's what you need, and that's what I do. So, yes, thank you very much if you think I'm motivational, but I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to tell you how to get to the next bit. And I think being a strategist is like, for me, is more important to what I want to achieve than being motivational. Because I can just come on here every day and go, yeah, just fucking watch me, man. I'm going to fucking do this. And hopefully it's going to bring you motivation. Oh, fuck off. I don't give a shit about bullshit. I'm going to say, this is what you're doing wrong. This is how you can fix it. And this is how you can take pressure away. And there's a rant to finish on.
Sweet. Well, we'll leave it there on that note.
Cool. So thank you very much for watching. I would love it if you'd subscribe to the YouTube, to the Facebook, whatever you want to subscribe to is fine by me. But more importantly, what I'd love you to do is I'd love you to leave a comment under this video, whichever video it is, and just say whatever your thoughts are. If you want to hit me up, just say hi. Just comments, they make my day, because I get a lot of messages through. It's very difficult to actually go through all the messages on Facebook, but the comments, because they come in all throughout the day, and they just pop up. It's just nice and easy for me to read them, and it's very nice. So leave a comment, subscribe, like, do all the usual shit. Share it if you really, really fancy it. But if we can finish, if I can have that, I think we finish on a very strong message, which effectively is thank you very much.
Life motto.
See you again soon.